homicidal henchman.
Well, I worked with Burt Bacharach. I've recorded with Sonny and Cher. I did the Phil Spector records and the Righteous Brothers, Lost That Love and Feeling. I'm on that. And, but that really wasn't my main thing. Our main thing was jazz.
He was a jazz musician, and I think it was his first acting job.
He was a bass fiddle player with Thelonious Monk.
I worked with Thelonious Monk. One night, Guy Hamilton came into Shelley's Manhole in L.A.
And Guy, who was a jazz fan, seen Thelonious Monk. There was Putter playing, and he went, "That's one of the guys."
So I did a screen test with Paul Williams, playing the part of Mr. Wint. He wrote a lot of songs like We've Only Just Begun, it's one of his songs, but he wrote a ton of songs.
When Paul Williams is unable to come to terms with the producers, Bruce Glover lands the role of Mr. Wint.
First, they thought I was a little too normal looking because they were looking for Sidney Greenstreet and Peter Lorre. Now, I can do Peter Lorre in my head, but I don't look like Peter Lorre. They wanted weird physical types.
I didn't act like anything. I just acted like myself.
So when I got on the set, I looked at Putter and I thought, so we're gay.
Well, the audience has the inside information, so you don't need to act like you're gay. If they know you are, then that's all that's necessary.
A lot of my character was based on just looking at Putter and enjoying him. Just in looking at him was an enjoyable experience. And I thought, but he's mine. He's mine. He's my toy. And now I've got like this possessive kind of thing.
They're both aboard. I must say, Miss Kay seems quite attractive. For a lady.
That jealousy came up because I had, in fact, the sense of Putter being my toy.
As the start date nears, the crew finds the Las Vegas location not so much a challenge as a temptation.
We were living in Las Vegas for about 6 weeks. The whole art department were living around the pool. And they were all gamblers, and nobody went to bed.
But back then, it was just a hard-nosed gambling town. I mean, that was it.
I think we all lost our money.
They gambled, you know, all the way through the night.
You can go breeze into a casino and not know whether it's night or day. There are no clocks and no windows.
Producer Cubby Broccoli and his wife Dana become involved in a real-life mystery.
His room was broken into while they were asleep and his wife's jewelry stolen, which was really frightening, right in the hotel.
I'd heard about these robberies where they come in and spray chloroform or something and the people sleep and they take the jewelry. Amazing. I was in the suite next door.
Filming begins April the 5th, 1971, with the desert outside Las Vegas substituting for South Africa.
The first day of shooting in Las Vegas, we're going to shoot that scene with the scorpions where Putter pretends to have a toothache. And I said, oh, would you look at his thing? And he starts to look, and he's saying, open, open. And he opens up his mouth, and when his mouth is open, I reach around and I jam the scorpion into his mouth.
They thought that was too shocking.
The following week, Sean Connery shoots his first scene, the car chase down the Vegas Strip.
They said, whatever you want, Guy. And I said, well, I've heard that before. I don't really believe it. Let's try and for size. Could you close downtown Vegas for 5 nights?
Closing down the Strip is no trouble for Cubby Broccoli, who has friends in high places.
Howard used to occupy that whole top floor of the Desert Inn.
They called him the Penthouse. Word has come down from the Penthouse that Cubby Broccoli can use anything in any of his hotels or anything else that he might need.
Filming the car chase continues through mid-April, except for one stunt, which takes months to complete.
Originally, we did that sequence in the studio, and I was actually there, in the studio in Los Angeles.
The initial shoot at Universal goes well, but Hamilton still needs shots of the car exiting the alley in Las Vegas.
Cubby said, cool it. I'll have a second unit, and they will get the shot for you.
A second unit films a stunt in June. The footage, unfortunately, includes Las Vegas street crowds, police, and other problems. A reshoot is scheduled.
I said, terrific, Cubby. You can tell them to do it again.
They redid it later.
The American stuntmen, unfortunately, cannot perform the stunt. A French team is called in, but they do the stunt on the opposite set of wheels.
But they did it the wrong way round.
The driving seat is down, the French guy does it the other way, down the driving. I said, I don't, so long as they're on two wheels, it's all the same to me, wheelie up or wheelie down.
That attitude doesn't last when the dailies arrive.
To this day, every time I see it, my heart goes in my mouth. If you look at it, it's down on one side, but no way could it have turned on the other side.
Eventually, an innovative solution is found.
There's only one answer.
When we did the close-ups, we were on a soundstage, but the car still went like this.
And in the middle there, we slipped this shot of the car.
At the end of April, Connery begins filming inside the Riviera Hotel and Casino.
He was just an incredible presence, which he still is. I did the entire scene on an Apple box because I was not tall enough. So that was always a lot of fun because Sean was so gigantic, and here I was even with heels, not quite matching up.
May the 1st finds the crew at the John Manville gypsum plant, which becomes White Tektronix in the film.
The moon buggy was not 100% based on the actual lunar vehicle. Guy wanted it to look grotesque with these flailing arms and so on, mechanical arms. And I decided to use the actual moon buggy wheels, which were conical. What happened was that the ground was so rough and the weight of the actual moon buggy was so much that they kept breaking.
The following week, Lana Wood takes a dip in the pool. Though stuntwoman Patty Elder does part of the fall, Lana Wood finishes it off for the close shot.
I started thinking about the fact that I was going to be jumping into a pool, basically nude. And then everybody was running around saying, oh, you don't have to be worried because we're going to be shooting this in the middle of the night. Who will be up then? And I thought, yeah, that's right. I mean, who's going to be up? It's Las Vegas. The whole world is up in the middle of the night, and they're all gathered around the windows looking at the pool area.
Exceptionally fine shot.
I didn't know there was a pool down there.
In mid-May, the Bond company arrives at an unusual home in Palm Springs.
The house was built out of the rock itself. And the rock that I start out when you first see me on was actually a real rock there in the house that the house was built around.
And it was absolutely right for the film. It was a reinforced concrete structure, very modern and fabulous. And I said, you know, this is as though I designed it.
I get a lot of ideas from television. I saw some of these girls for the Olympics who are doing their mat work, you know, where they do these somersaults. It's beautiful to watch. If one of those girls were ever to do some flips and come and kick you in the teeth with her feet, I mean, you wouldn't stand a chance.
I showed him different things that I felt that would be appropriate for fighting, and that kick and that turn on the floor, that is mine. I must say, that's mine. I like that one.
Stuntwoman Donna Garrett is originally signed to play Bambi, but does not end up in the role.
Well, hi there. I'm Bambi.
Lola Larson replaces Garrett.
I'm Bambi. She was an Olympic gymnast star, very young, very quiet. I think this was her first, too. But she did a good job.
Jimmy Dean arrives on the set to film his first scenes, but misses out on the action.
Bambi and Thumper. More people ask me about them. I never saw them. When we arrived on the set, they had already done their thing and they had left, so I never saw them.
Dean enjoys working with Sean Connery.
It was always fun for me to be around. I had a good time with him. He called me the noisy American.
At the end of May, the unit travels further afield to an oil rig off the coast of Oceanside, California.
We had problems to find the right oil rig because it had to be disused and had to be safe because we had fire effects and explosions and all that.
For the cast, getting to the rig is an adventure in itself.
Every day we'd go in a helicopter and fly 15 minutes out. to this oil rig.
One of the helicopter pilots, because I wasn't in the scene, said, "Jimmy, you want to go up and go for a ride?" He scared the hell out of me. I mean, they went so